Sustain. 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 So, let's break down the word sustain. As a verb, it means to support or keep something in existence, often by providing necessary resources or care. In common usage, you might hear people say things like, the government is trying to sustain the economy, or, the environmental organization is working to sustain the local wildlife. The key thing to note here is that sustain implies a sense of continuing or maintaining something over time, rather than just starting or initiating it. For example, if someone starts a new business, you might say they're trying to launch or start it, but once it's up and running, sustaining it means keeping it going and making sure it continues to thrive. Also, be careful not to confuse sustain with its opposite, perpetuate, which means to make something continue or keep it going in a way that might be negative or unhealthy. So, if someone is perpetuating a bad habit, they're actually making it worse. Whereas sustaining something implies trying to keep it healthy and going strong. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word sustain with context explanations. The City Council has implemented various initiatives to sustain its green spaces and promote environmental awareness among residents, including recycling programs and community gardens. In this formal usage, sustain is used in an official context to describe long-term efforts to maintain and support a specific goal or program. I've been trying to sustain my daily yoga practice by committing to 30 minutes of meditation each morning. It's really helped me set a positive tone for the day, said Sarah. In this casual conversation usage, sustain is used in an informal setting to describe a personal habit or routine that someone is making an effort to maintain over time. According to our market analysis, we need to sustain our current sales momentum by targeting high-growth demographics and optimizing our marketing strategy for the next quarter, said John. In this business academic usage, sustain is used in a professional context to describe economic or financial stability that needs to be maintained through strategic planning and execution. So, you're trying to learn about this word that means to keep something going for a long time, often by taking care of the environment and resources. Mainly, it's about doing things in a way that doesn't hurt the planet and allows us to continue living here comfortably. It's not just about using up all the trees or wasting water, but making sure we have enough for future generations. Similar ideas are being green and taking care of the earth. So you might hear people talk about reducing, reusing, and recycling. When someone does something that helps maintain this balance, they're showing that they care about what's left for tomorrow. Symbol. 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 Let's talk about the word symbol. As a noun, it refers to a character, object, or color used to represent an idea, person, place, or thing. In common usage, you'll often see symbols in language, art, and everyday life, such as emojis in text messages, logos on company letterheads, or mathematical signs like plus and. For example, the heart symbol red heart is a universal representation of love, while the @ sign is used to indicate an email address. An interesting note about the usage of symbol is that it can also be used metaphorically, referring to something that stands for or represents a particular quality, attitude, or concept, such as a symbol of freedom. In a formal setting, you might say something like, the Olympic rings are a symbol of international unity and cooperation among nations participating in the Games. Here, The word symbol is used to convey a specific meaning and significance associated with an iconic image. This sentence would be suitable for a speech or written report on the Olympics. In casual conversation, you might say something like, "I love how they're using the dove as a symbol of peace in that new ad campaign." In this context, the word symbol is used to refer to an object or image that represents a particular idea or value. This sentence would be suitable for discussing popular culture with friends. In business or academic contexts, you might say something like, "The use of a tree as a symbol in our company's logo reflects our commitment to environmental sustainability and long-term growth." Here, the word symbol is used to represent an abstract concept or value that underlies a particular idea, product, or initiative. This sentence would be suitable for a report on corporate social responsibility or an academic paper on branding strategies. So, you want to know about that thing we use to represent something else? It's a special mark or character that stands for an object, idea, letter, or sound. Think of it like a picture that represents a word. When we see this mark, our minds automatically think of what it represents. For example, if I write, "Imagine a big circle," you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? This thing is used in all sorts of languages and writing systems to make it easier for people to communicate quickly and clearly. It's like a secret code that everyone can understand. Target. 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 Let's talk about the word target. So, grammatically speaking, target is a noun, specifically a countable noun, which means we can use it with articles like a or the. And we can also pluralize it by adding s to make targets. In everyday language, people commonly use target to refer to something that someone is trying to hit or achieve, like in sports, business, or even personal goals. For example, the archer aimed at the target on the wall, or she's been working hard to meet her sales target this quarter. One special thing to note about target is that it can also have a slightly different meaning when used with people, especially in sensitive contexts, implying something or someone being blamed or criticized. So, for example, if you say, "You're the target of gossip at work," it's not exactly flattering. Just be mindful of that nuance and use target with care. Okay? Here are 3 examples of sentence structures using the word target in different contexts. In a formal setting, you might say, "The international community has set a target to eradicate malaria worldwide by 2030. This sentence is suitable for a speech at a global health conference or an article on disease prevention. The context here is one of high-stakes ambition and collective responsibility. In a casual conversation with friends, you could say, "My goal this summer is to learn how to surf. I'm targeting the first weekend in July for my beginner's lesson." This sentence is informal enough for a chat over coffee or dinner with acquaintances. The context here is one of personal aspiration and leisure time. In a business setting, such as an interview or a report, you might say, "Our marketing strategy has a target audience of young professionals aged 25 to 35. And we're projecting a 15% increase in sales within the next quarter." This sentence is professional enough for a job interview or a corporate presentation. The context here is one of business planning and market analysis. So, you know how sometimes we want to improve at something, like a sport or a skill? Well, think of a goal that you're working towards, like running a certain distance without stopping or being able to speak fluently in another language. A target is like a specific outcome or achievement that you're trying to reach by doing a series of smaller tasks or actions. It's like a milestone that you're aiming for, and it helps guide your efforts and keep you motivated. In many cases, people use the term goal instead of target, but in business and marketing, it's often used to refer to a specific audience or customer base that a product or service is designed to appeal to. When we talk about targets, we're usually thinking about what we want to accomplish or achieve, not necessarily who or how many people are involved.